Sound is rolling. Marking.
Can you tell us about previous experiences that have helped you develop professionally, and how will you reference these experiences in the future?
Well, I think doing lots of video stuff as a hobby in the past was a good way to begin and develop my skills. But it was really good to, during the pandemic, be able to bring those skills into my job role as a teacher, as head of digital at my school, because it meant I was able to go around and take part in filming of different bits and pieces for the school, edit that together, and that really sort of helped me really sink my teeth into projects on a slightly bigger level than I would have done before. And you know, that was stuff that was going out to parents. Some of the footage was used for marketing for the school, which was that was quite a proud moment for me. So you know, that was a huge plus for me as an experience to use those skills and further develop them. And you know, that set me in good stead for everything I'm doing now to sort of build on from that. It certainly helps with, you know, some of the productions and the things we've been doing this year and things that I would go on to do, because I have some element of understanding different ways of filming, being in different places, looking at things in different ways. In terms of the actual, you know, editing side of it, which is more what I look at, you know, it helped me practice things like syncing up sound with the video footage. That's something I hadn't done before and was now having to do. You know, adjusting lighting, all those kinds of bits that I hadn't done as a hobby as much, and suddenly I was doing in a more professional setting. So that was a really good starting place and something I'm trying to build on further.
How do you manage working towards your own goals alongside deadlines given to you by college?
Well, fortunately, lots of my own goals kind of align with the stuff I'm doing at college. So when I'm working towards the college goals, it is like working towards my personal goals as well. Managing that with other aspects of my life is probably more of my challenge than necessarily striving to match my personal goals and the college deadlines. But that's something that, you know, I'm trying to manage as best as I can. It's a case of outlining the projects, trying to develop priorities at a given moment, see what needs to be focused on. Trying to allocate time where I can. If I'm missing those schedules, to try and fit that in, to try and catch back up. You know, time management is a key skill for any job. You know, it's something that in my life as a professional, I've had to manage, you know, for my role as a teacher, planning lessons, teaching the lessons, marking the lessons, you know, writing reports, all those kinds of bits that go outside of the job role, as well as just the actual standing there and delivering a wonderful lesson, you know, making resources, all the things that come into that. So time management is something I'm very familiar with, but certainly something that I think I'll always keep striving to try and get better at, because I think there's always going to be bits and pieces that crop up in your life and you have to adapt and change. But, you know, I'm certainly doing my best to try and manage my time effectively. And fortunately, like I say, my personal goals align with lots of the college deadlines and goals. So I'm in a way fortunate in that regard that those two things kind of go hand in hand there.
Okay. So what weaknesses do you think are holding you back from pursuing your chosen career?
I mean, some of them are going to be very specific for me, in terms of, you know, I am the older member of our cohort here, and I think that comes with both positives in the fact that I've got quite a wide experience of the world, and that sort of helped in lots of the stuff we've done. For example, going and meeting with the leading resolutions team, being able to actually have a meeting and discuss things with them was quite easy for me, because I've spent years doing those kinds of things, versus perhaps some of the rest of the cohort. But with that also becomes the weaknesses. So I do have more responsibilities, you know, at home than perhaps some of my colleagues here do. You know, I do have a child at home, you know, a 1-year-old that takes up my time and things like that. I have to be aware of trying to provide for her, which is something I'm acutely aware of at the moment, having just sort of handed my notice in at work. You know, there is that financial responsibility. So when it comes to things, you know, house, mortgage, would it be easy to up sticks and suddenly go to London if a job offer came in or something like that? You know, it would be something I'd have to really look at, whereas perhaps some of the rest of my cohort would find that easier to be able to go, right, perfect, I'm off and I'm going to go find a flat share or something to go and deal with. So, you know, that is a weakness, I think, that's not necessarily holding me back from my chosen career, because I think, well, my chosen career being editing, lots of that can be done remotely as long as you've got the right equipment anywhere, and I think more and more of that is being done remotely. You know, just watching lots of credits and things at the minute, I see lots of online editors being credited as well, so that's perhaps an avenue that I can try and explore. But yeah, that's like I say, probably maybe not a weakness as such, but it's certainly a challenge that needs to be there, you know, borne in mind for me with my chosen career path.
Okay. Could you name 3 skills you need to succeed in your dream career? How are you going to gain these?
One would certainly be technical knowledge. I think of my chosen career of editing, you know, it'd be the knowledge of the different softwares. Different companies will use different softwares. Whether they would be comfortable with using one that you're more familiar with, it would, I guess, depend on them and their workflows. So I think having a wider skill set of different editing softwares would be a really good strength to be able to develop further, and something that I'm going to certainly work towards in the coming sort of weeks and months, to try and actually practice doing some projects, even if it's the same project, but try and replicate it 3 times over, once on Premiere, once on DaVinci, maybe once on Final Cut, something like that, and see how close I can do those sorts of things. So that's certainly, so I think technical knowledge is quite key there. I think communication is really important, particularly, as I say, if I was aiming to be remote working, you know, professional as much as I could, then having that clear communication with whoever I'm working for, whether it be freelance or for a company, you know, there needs to be that communication level there. What is it you need from me? Am I doing, you know, is this what you're after? Come back and forth to make sure it's all the right thing for the project, to make sure that that's completed to the best of its ability. So yeah, communication would be key. And for a third one, I'm trying to think of something that's maybe a little bit different to sort of the standard answers. So technical knowledge, communication. I'm going to go with imagination as well, because I think whilst yes, it's going to be very much a brief of this is what you need to create, having that idea to, well, actually, what if I cut it in this particular way, or what if I put this transition in, or that creative side of it, that imagination to be able to look at the footage and go, let me try this and see if this will work there. Does then that fit with the project brief? You know, it's about taking what I've been given and can I make it that step above just the standard putting of something together. So yeah, I'm going to go with imagination being quite a good skill there as well.
Okay, so what will you do during the summer holidays to help you get closer to achieving your dream career?
It's quite a good question for me, with things going on. So I'm going to be spending quite a lot of time in the summer holidays working towards certain goals that I'm setting myself. So those being to continue to look for work within the industry, see if I can get just a stepping stone in somewhere would be amazing. With that, I'm also going to try and develop my skills further, work on trying to develop a portfolio, really pad that out a little bit more. I've already had a few ideas at home that are on my project boards of small little projects I can try and do one a week of. So, you know, take a film that I enjoy, can I make a modern, up-to-date trailer for it? Something like that, which I think would be quite fun to attempt. So I'm gonna, and like I say earlier on, I said about trying to develop my skills with different softwares. So things like that, really. So that's how I'm going to sort of work across the summer, continue to try and see what I can find work-wise and go from there, but also really set myself challenges each week to look at the skills I do have and can I improve on them further and give that a try, and also what skills could I develop further that aren't as high as others, and sort of really try and set myself those challenges and work towards practicing them, whether that be online tutorials or courses, or just having an idea and thinking, right, okay, let me go out with my phone, film something, take it home and see what I can do to it. And I think I'm quite looking forward to it in a weird way.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
I think we're good. I don't think we need to ask any additional questions.
That's not the button.